Hello, this is Becky Prater. I had the most wonderful opportunity to work with a woman named Suzanne Spooner. She is a level 3 quantum healing hypnosis technique practitioner, often referred to as QHHT. Suzanne trained under and then co-taught with Dolores Cannon. Dolores is the woman who developed and practiced this groundbreaking method of healing for 45 years. There's so many YouTube videos with Dolores Cannon, and it's really worth watching. She's an amazing woman, and it's super cool to listen to her stories. And Suzanne has lots of sessions or partial sessions or lots of videos to watch. They're just amazing. If you need more information, go to those videos. Also, if you want more information about the process, you can go to Suzanne Spooner, QHHT.com. Okay, it was such a great honor to work with Suzanne. It took a year to get the appointment. It was totally worth waiting for. In fact, the timing was perfect. Had I gotten in last year when I inquired, I would have been just not ready, or the information I would have gathered would have been so different from what I got now after all that we've been through in the last 6 months. In fact, I feel like I have grown exponentially in the last 4 or 5 months during this COVID time. So it was really quite nice that it happened when it did. It was perfect timing. Okay, so quantum healing hypnosis technique is a past life regression therapy which ends in a discussion with your higher self. Most people are aware of what's being said during the session, but are very deep in a somnambulistic state of trance. According to Suzanne's website, that state is, under ordinary circumstances, is experienced twice daily. The moment just before you become consciously awake and the moment before you drift off to sleep. Practitioners find that people can access past lives during that state as well as tap into their higher selves. So we started with the exploration of past lives and then quickly moved to the long list of questions I had for my higher self. It's been my experience that I've regularly communicated with my higher self. But like most people, I have self-doubt about this. I was curious how this situation would be different from my previous communications with my higher self. So this is what my experience was. The answers to my questions were delivered in a tonation and a pacing that was different from my normal voice. The pausing between the questions and the answers was highly unusual. In the session, you can tell my small self pops in a few times to comment. There's an interesting interplay of like high self and small self. It was like I, as a small self, was observing and interacting with my higher self in the session. While I'm not sure this is appropriate, Suzanne kept the session under control and kind of brought me back to the higher self whenever I strayed. But you could tell there was like a difference. And when I listen to the recording, I can really see when the small self popped in, when the higher self popped in. Or when the higher self kind of was the person talking. Very clear to me. And that I think is important to know. Okay, so I've linked to the part of this session that is the most interesting and relevant because it relates to Trump, and I think it's kind of curious. I want you to know a few things. Okay, because we are all receiving such conflicting information, we need to run what we've heard through a filter of truth, our filter of truth, to detect what is true for us personally. We have a unique perspective based on the media we ingest, our experiences, our belief system, and our values. The true value is in the diversity of these perspectives. We are not here to necessarily agree with each other. We are here to honor the diversity on this planet and figure out how to get along. So in this QHHT session with Suzanne, I received this information about Trump from my higher self, referring to him as despicable and hideous, because that is how my small self sees him. If I were a Trump fan, I would have received the information differently, and the message would not have been such a surprise. In the end, the message in the recording is the same. He is here serving a unique purpose, regardless of how I refer to him. This is the message. I'm sorry if you are offended by the terms my higher self uses. Again, we're not here to agree, but to have our own unique perspective and experience, and then respect that in others. I believe it is important that we stay curious. I am watching, waiting, and listening. I'm remaining neutral to the information that's coming to me. I'm running what I hear through my truth filter to detect how my body responds to it. So when I hear something, I know immediately if that matches my truth. And that's important to me. If I hear something and my body reacts like, whoa, that's not true for me, I know it. And that is clarifying and equally as important. Whether something's true or not, I find out because of the things I hear and the experiences I have. So our body is the detection device that we can use to determine what is our truth. That's why it's amazing to have exposure to different information. Okay, so we are in a massive shift and it's hard to know exactly what's going on. I actually believe it's beyond our ability to understand right now. Best to allow, stay open to more information, expect miracles, and then vote according to your truth.